All right, folks, take a look at this. We've got it out of the wrap. There is a double standard like you can't believe when it comes to ratings, and we are on them. We're ready to expose it for you. Now, you're going to know what the game is in and how it's played. This is by Lori Science. It says, State of the Union early ratings. Fox News leads cable networks with 9.1 million viewers. ABC tops the broadcast. Donald Trump set the record for the longest spoken State of the Union address in recent history. What are the numbers, please? Give them to us. Fox News coverage of the 2026 State of the Union address, which aired from 9:12 to 11 p.m. on Tuesday night, brought in 9.1 million viewers based on preliminary Nielsen Live plus same-day panel data. Oh, so this is from Nielsen, right? Nielsen, I need everybody to remember this. Okay, this is going to be a big thing that you need to remember. This actually matters. Don't forget, Nielsen Live plus same-day panel data. Okay. MS Now got 2.4 million viewers. CNN got 2.2 million viewers. ABC News, 5.1 million viewers. NBC, 3.6 million viewers. CBS, 3.3 million. And Fox, not Fox News, but Fox, which was carrying Fox News, got an additional 2.1 million. All right, so let's add that up. Vash, can you get the calculator ready? Are you ready to go on this?
Oh, we're going to do this again. Okay,
we're going to do it, but this time, Vash, with a calculator. You've got this. Are you ready? Vash, what I need you to add up is 9.1, 2.4, 2.2, 5.1, 3.6, 3.3, and 2.1. Bash, if you could add those numbers up and tell us what that equals in just a minute, we'll need it. Yep. Here's what it says, folks, with the numbers available thus far. The address is totaling around... Hey, Vash, do you have... you got the numbers yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
We're going.
We'll just... Folks, we'll just leave that alone for a minute, okay? It's not a comprehensive number for everywhere the State of the Union was broadcast. Comprehensive figures from Nielsen's Big Data Plus panel will be available on Thursday, and this story will be updated once available. Yeah,
available. So they're not tracking C-SPAN or White House views.
I guess they're admitting that there are no views on C-SPAN, right?
Or the White House's YouTube channel. Remember, this is what this number is supposed to reflect: is the online viewership, right?
Whoa! Culture. We're not there yet. Hang tight.
Right.
We'll get there.
Okay. All right.
All right. Vash has got the number.
It is 27.8.
27.8, which if we round up with the Fox Business number, about 28 million views. Thank you, Vash.
Wow.
Nice.
Folks, how does that compare to the Super Bowl? Well, 125.6 million viewers for the Super Bowl is what Nielsen says, but only 28 million for the State of the Union, right? Right. Everybody remember that? What about the Olympics? Well, the Milan Cortina Olympics were the most watched winter games since 2014 with a 96% increase over Beijing. Oh my gosh, they averaged 23.5 million viewers in the United States every single time. That's wonderful, right? Day after day after day of numbers that are basically matching up with the State of the Union and barely losing to the State of the Union. And of course, that Super Bowl, just so much bigger. Well, folks, what have I told you? They're measuring with a different standard here. Culture, you were onto this. Remember what we said? Remember what we called it? Folks, where is it again, okay? Everybody show it to me. Where we got it? Nielsen Live plus same-day panel data. But what are we going to get? We're going to get the Big Data Plus panel. And what is the Big Data Plus panel? Well, folks, we get the headline news out here that tells us it's just a piddly little 28 million. But the truth is that when you go to the Super Bowl and you look at how they measured it and the stuff that we're going to get apparently later sometime, they're measuring online.
Yeah.
Where did all the viewership go? Because, by the way, this puts the State of the Union quite low compared to the prior State of the Unions. Guys, it doesn't matter to me. If it's low, it's low. But here's the problem. They specifically chose not to measure online viewership this time. And where are people watching things more than ever? Online. So I'll make this point, Culture, and I'll hand it to you. Why are they measuring the Super Bowl one way and the State of the Union the other way? Why were they so quick to get the Super Bowl stats out? Because, Culture, I believe they are desperate to make great numbers for the Super Bowl and Bad Bunny, and they're desperate to give bad numbers to the Trumpster, pretend his views are in the dumpster. What say you, Culture?
Everything is political. And look, they use the Trust Me Bro numbers, and they try to tie in globally with the digital viewership, and they don't allow for that in this particular situation. So it's hard to separate one from the other, but the Trust Me Bro viewership is smoke and mirrors largely. They attribute some viewership to people like maybe looking at something on X for a couple of seconds, or maybe some other place online. And some of that's a little sketchy. But when you look at the true digital views across the multiple channels this was available, which would include, if you really wanted to include, like channels like D-Day Cobra or even Drunk 3PO's Welcome to the Rebellion podcast, or any of the places that had this going, you had tens of thousands of other people watching this through other means. They don't include C-SPAN, which is like, you know, a very popular stream to watch because it doesn't have the bologna sausage commentary of the talking heads that have narrative opinions. And you're not seeing it over on the White House's own feed, which is a YouTube channel as well. So this is disingenuous, dishonest, and slanted so they can tell a story about the fact that this isn't as popular as it was, or was not as watched as it was. Because I can tell you right now, across the globe, people pay attention to what Trump says. Even though this was the longest State of the Union speech on record, people stayed and paid attention to it. And the commentary around it has largely taken a lot of wind out of the sails of the people that were paying attention last night, which
That's
also...
exactly right.
Yeah, it also included the one statement, which I think is going to be a trap in every ad going forward into the midterms. The fact that, you know, if you are here representing America first and foremost, and not illegal aliens, stand up. That is, I paraphrase, but that particular segment of that show is going to be used in political ads from now until forever, and it's going to eventually become free advertisement, and that's bad news.
Culture, many of our viewers were watching the State of the Union with Valiant Renegade. Great channel, folks. Get over there and subscribe to Valiant channel. You'll find me over there on Sunday nights. Many people were tuning in on other political live streams, not the traditional way. And of course, those ways of viewing got counted for the Super Bowl. And the Super Bowl, they came out and said, well, you know, there's great statistics here, great ratings. They came out for the Olympics, said 96% increase in the Olympics. And then the day after the State of the Union, they came out and here's what they said about it. I just want to show you this because they don't explicitly explain that we're doing apples to apples and apples to oranges and delineate when that is and when it's not. The Wrap says, while Tuesday's address marks the first State of the Union Trump has given this presidency, it can be compared to last year's congressional address, which lasted roughly an hour and 40 minutes and was broadcast across 15 networks. That address scored 36.6 million viewers and peaked at 37.9 million viewers per Nielsen. For comparison, 32.2 million viewers tuned in to watch former President Joe Biden's State of the Union address in 2024. Trump's 2017, 2019, and 2020 addresses brought in 47.74, 45.6, and 46.79 million viewers, respectively, per Nielsen. What they're not explaining here is the viewership has moved online. And unlike with the Super Bowl and the Olympics, this time, oh, they're not counting it yet. And they'll update the stuff later. They'll update it later, sure, when it's out of the news. That's how they play the game. But I want to give Lauren, there's a trick here that I don't want to miss out on. They actually do have a reason for underplaying the statistics for State of the Unions. And that is, nobody makes money off these things. There's no commercials. There's no nothing. It's a huge financial bomb on the networks and everybody else who covers it, unless it's like Fox News, who they know they're going to get it's like the Super Bowl to them, where they run the commercial immediately afterwards. And whoever paid for that really loves the returns. But for the networks, these things, man, are just economic disasters. So Nielsen does have some interest, I would say, in trying to downplay the ratings.
Yes, but if they are the trusted source, at least currently, for where these ratings are, if they continue to have to make adjustments because they're not taking into account the online viewership until later, and they have to show these massive adjustments after the fact, people are going to start trusting them less and trust more the ones that are doing the online statistics. I can't recall the name of the organization that's doing that right now, but they're
Parrot Analytics, is that what you're talking about?
No. Which one?
Parrot Analytics, or you talking about the online buzz measurements?
No, there was another one, but I don't recall what it was.
Samba TV?
That's the one. That's the one I was trying to think of. And I think that they may be ceding the future to them unless they start reporting these things at the same time.
Yeah, that's a good point. Now, Sama TV is making a lot of friends with consumers such as us who want to know, like, what's the real viewership? But when it comes to advertisers and the networks, they want big numbers. They want to justify what they've done. You got to think, if I'm a marketing exec, my job is saved if Nielsen continues to raise those numbers for me. And the State of the Union, nobody cares. So, well, except politically. And politically, what do, Vash? They slip in all this jargon about data and big panel and blah, blah, blah. Nobody other than us that researches this stuff knows what it is. And that's how we get these declining viewerships. And we don't do the online stuff. We don't explain, hey, people are watching this on their phones, their tablets, etc. We're measuring this time only TV. But last time and the last time before that, when we did the Olympics and Super Bowl, we did a completely different way. Whatever way suits us, baby.
Yeah, they just go with the most convenient way to, I don't know, to trump it up their political point or programming that agrees with their ideology. I mean, we see this stuff all the time with entertainment programs ranging from, Acolyte and all these other things, right? And we've seen Disney do this, but certainly a lot of these trades or maybe, rags, they will go ahead and utilize the same tactics in order to say, hey, this program was way higher than this program. Oh, look, this guy's a failure or this guy's a success or whatever. But it's all, smoke and mirrors. I mean, it's all a very crafted,
manipulated, synthetic.
Yeah. It's a really woven trick, right? In order to make you believe that this thing was popular or this thing was not popular and so forth.
Folks, the bottom line here, we're not being political. If a Democrat is elected to president in the future, their ratings, according to this, will also continue to go down on TV because people continue to move to the internet to watch the State of the Union. They're watching on other things. They're not watching on the networks. The networks are dinosaurs. Nielsen knows that. The articles covering this know this. And now you know what they know that they don't want you to know. And it's so sad for them. And yet again, folks, we have come to the end. But what a video it has been, and we hope you agree. Folks, if you had a good time with us, consider clicking that like button, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell, and drop a comment right on down below. We care about your thoughts. Folks, we also want to invite you to partake in thatparkplace.com. Of course, www. You get the idea. Thatparkplace.com. It is the website telling the truth, and it is a rising star across the web for pop culture news coverage and analysis. Go over there and bookmark it today. Folks, we're bookmarking you as a great guest that we appreciate. Until the next time we have the honor of spending time with you, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, folks, you better believe it, keep having fun.
There are men who go to sea to find fortune. Men who go to sea to lose themselves. I went to sea to find honor. Since I was a boy, I was forged in discipline, faith, duty. They called me loyal. They called me righteous. They called me useful. But the sea does not care what a man is called. Only what he becomes when the world takes everything from him. I prayed for peace, and the world answered with only death. I have seen honor used as a mask, and sin used as a shelter. The devil walks plainly in this world without shame or fear, and now the ocean carries whispers of men who believe they can burn faith out of this world. They are wrong. My name is Jonathan Reed. My story has only just begun.